I want to talk about some news and notes that happened since we last spoke, and the biggest would probably be that from a pure sporting standpoint, that Dana White told the boys over at the Full Send podcast, who had quite the weekend, by the way. If I'm being 1,000% honest, Kyle from the Nelk boys, did you see him hanging out with Drake all weekend? I was having well, I don't know if I could say I was having FOMO, because FOMO would imply that I could have been a part of it. But Drake had this 3-day concert at the Wireless Fest. Wireless? Do you guys know what this wireless thing is? It was unbelievable. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I saw the clips online.
No. But it's not just clips. It was one of the all-time great performances. He brought out Central C. He brought out Dave. He brought out Lauryn Hill. He brought out everyone. It was unbelievable. It was a real, true, coming out party for him, after the past year or so. It was fantastic. I didn't even know that was a thing. Flew out all the streamers, gave the Nelk Boys guy, Kyle, a Rolex. Anyway, Dana told them it's happening. White House. People are asking Dana about who's going to fight. I mean, it's impossible. They're not, I know Conor's throwing his name into the hat. I know Jon Jones, but so much can happen in the next 300 and 56 days or something like that, or 55 days. But it really does seem like a real thing. And I said it when Trump announced it. I said it. It's going to happen. Or at least they're going to do everything in their power to make it happen. And there's old Johnny Boy back at it with the tweets. Can I be honest? I want to know what this testing pool is. I want to know what the testing pool is. What is the testing pool? Do we really think John exited the testing pool and then re-entered? Because I think I'm ready to call cap on that. Just re-entered the testing pool. That lasted for about 2 weeks. Figured we keep everyone's options open. Fighting at the White House? It would be, for me, it's about the opportunity to represent America at the White House. I don't care who I fight that night. I found my reason why. That's what I needed, something that was more than money. All right. So how much we doing this for? 500? Okay. Donald made his announcement. By the way, the disrespect to call him Donald. Not even Trump. The Prez, 47, 45.
Chelsea supporter.
Yeah, it's tremendous. 4th of July, I called the UFC headquarters that same afternoon. I'll just leave it at that, America. Now that tickles my pickle. By the way, I think technically Donald, he announced it in the evening at that big celebration, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Is there more? That's it. He wants in. I don't know. Dana White told the Nelk boys that the ideal main event would be him versus Tom Aspinall. Again, a lot can happen between now and then, but there's an art to being missed, and I know that John hasn't fought since November, but I don't think that he's necessarily allowing himself to be missed very much, because the moment he left, he came right back. And by the way, I have no problem with all of this. We never had a problem with any of this. It was the fact that he was holding up the division, holding up the belt. Everyone said, please stick around. Stick around as long as you want. Just give up the title so other people can realize their dreams. Fun fights, one-off fights, legacy fights, super fights, all day. You're bigger than the title. Jon Jones is bigger than the UFC heavyweight title. He's bigger than any title. There's only a couple of guys who are bigger than the title. Jon being one. If Tom would have beaten Jon, the fact that he beat Jon would be bigger than him becoming UFC heavyweight champion, in my opinion. Conor is bigger. And there are other guys who are getting there. Islam is getting there. Ilya is getting there. But Jon might be the only active one who's bigger than the title right now. Surely he understands that. So that was my whole point the whole time. Just give up the title and do this. This is great. Stick around. If you want to fight freaking Alex Pereira next year at the White House, great. Especially if Alex isn't the champ, wonderful. If you want to challenge the champ, great. If you want to fight Ciryl Gane again, if you want to get, I don't know, Tim Sylvia out of retirement, amazing. We just had an issue with you holding up the division while telling everyone that you were living your best life while other people were being stopped from living their best life. But this is great. I think this is a huge win for the UFC. And no doubt will factor into whatever contract negotiations they're having right now, because I think everyone will want to broadcast that event. I mean, that is tailor-made for a Netflix, right? That is a Netflix mega premium event. But they are saying it's going to be a pay-per-view, which surprised me a little bit because if you are really going to have the biggest names, the biggest draws on the card, you're missing out on some of that money. Some of that, like if it's a Conor pay-per-view, a Jon Jones pay-per-view, that's a $20 or so million gate at minimum. But I guess with the sponsorship and all the buzz and everything that would come with it, you would maybe offset that. I don't know, but I'm curious. And oh, by the way, is that going to be the International Fight Week card? Because historically, these days, International Fight Week is like the 28th or whatever. And so if the 4th is a Saturday, then International Fight Week would have been the 27th. Do you think they're going to do back-to-back pay-per-views? Or do they get rid of International Fight Week? Or do they make International Fight Week in Washington? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Still not certain if it's going to happen.
You don't believe it?
I will believe it when I see it.
I think it would have to be the International Fight Week. You can't ask people to do International Fight Week and then ask them, okay.
In Washington?
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference?
Gigantic card.
It's on the White House lawn.
International Fight Week, July 4th.
Yeah, it's
250.
Vegas.
Washington, D.C. is more international than Vegas is.
That's true.
But it has no meaning anymore. There is nothing.
Oh, you guys saw it.
Stop. We were at UFC X. I felt it.
Incredible. Slap fighting on Friday. UFC BJJ on Thursday.
Hall of Fame on.
By the way, you're gonna
do the slap fighting on the White House.
You're gonna do the Hall of Fame at the MCI Center or whatever it's called these days.
No, bring it to the Oval Office. Do slap fighting.
No. Slap fighting
in the office.
Slap fighting at the Pentagon.
The Lincoln bedroom.
Tough enough at Washington Monument.
Right now, who's the main event? If you had to guess.
Conor Chandler.
Conor Chandler?
Yeah.
Islam versus Shavkat the week before in Las Vegas.
Islam versus Shavkat?
He's saying it's not going to be at the White House.
In Las Vegas.
Jesus. You just made my mind explode. Islam versus Shavkat.
The week before in Las Vegas.
Connor Mike.
You're saying no. You're saying it's not happening.
I'm not sold. I'm not sold it's happening.
Damn. Way to poo-poo it.
I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just being honest.
Conor wants in.
Conor wants in. Jon Jones wants in. We couldn't get Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, period. But now we're going to get Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall on the White House lawn.
Yeah. They're inspired. Donald made the announcement.
I would love to see it. I hope it happens.
I think it happens. I really do. I think you're underselling the 250th anniversary of the United States.
No, I think it's going to be massive.
I think. By the way, Trump pulled up to the Club World Cup final. You don't think he wants a UFC event at the White House lawn? He's sitting there watching Reece James and Cole Palmer do their thing against PSG. He's in there in the trophy celebration. You see how much sports mean to him? He wants to be in there.
Trophy celebration was fantastic.
It's one of the greatest scenes of all time. It's hilarious. Do we really think that he was on the phone with Derek Lewis?
Had to have been, right? Like who?
I don't know. I was trying to see because he was holding it like this, and it was like it's hard to tell.
Dana handed him the phone though.
Yeah, but is it that easy to just call the president?
I think the president called him. Said, "Put me on with the Black Beast ASAP."
No, because Dana said at the post-fight, he said, "Where's Trump at?" And he's like, "I think he's watching. Let me call him." Because he had said earlier to him, he put him on. He was on a text thread. It was Trump, Dana, and Kid Rock. And he said he was watching UFC that night.
Trump and you get a call from Dana White that night and your event just happened, I think he answers. So, yeah, I think
do you think that you could just call the president on an iPhone?
Dana White can, yeah.
Straight?
Yeah, Trump has a telephone.
Direct?
Oh, Trump's definitely on that iMessage. You think you could
just
hitting him up?
Yeah, you just text
his own cell phone, and they were like, "You can't do that. Like, you're supposed to have like this state."
Maybe he's got the iPad out. Maybe he's got the iPad.
How do you think he gets the posts up on Truth Social?
That's right. That's
and then screenshots them and puts them.
Well,
on
we've seen the behind the scenes. He hands it to somebody, and they post.
Well, sometimes. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.